Who is going to be the first to take that trip to Goon City? Now available on ProWrestlingTees.com, the newest design for Off The Script, taking that trip to Goon City. ProWrestlingTees.com/Off The Script, $19.99. Get yours today on top of version 1 and version 2 of Get Off My TV. Goon City is the newest addition for the Off The Script podcast, hosted by yours truly, JD from NY. Let's all take that bus trip to Goon City collectively, man. Let's populate Goon City and show why this is the #1 fucking podcast on YouTube.com, man. That's ProWrestlingTees.com/Off The Script. Oh, Magic 8 Ball. Welcome to Off The Script, episode 116, part number 3, for your Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. But I do have one question for you this morning. Is brash trash? Better not tell you now. He doesn't want to hurt his feelings. That's okay. But I'll tell you what, I'm gonna tell you. Is the #1 fucking source right here on YouTube.com for everything WWE. This is Off The Script, the #1 fucking podcast in your subscription boxes, man. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. If you're a mother watching me, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all your mothers if you're watching me, if you have a mother. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I'm at work right now while you're watching this, slaving away like a fucking asshole. But happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you guys. Now, I do want to say immediately, before we even get on with the video, there will be a part 4 of Off The Script. Typically, I do not do a part 4. I usually keep it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But there is so much news filtering through the weekend that I have to do a part 4. So Monday, while you're on your way to work, while you're on the school bus, while you're on the train, while you're in a fucking Uber, you'll be listening to Off The Script on Monday morning. So you're welcome. Before you guys even say it in the comment section, you are welcome. This is episode 116. Part number 3 for your Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching me. I want to say immediately, right off the bat, Patreon, man. You guys are fucking kicking ass with this, and I am very humbled, and I am very appreciative that you guys are pledging. And I did set up a Patreon account for you guys to show your support for the show. If you don't want to support via Pro Wrestling Tees and that type of thing, I did set up a Patreon account for you guys to donate and pledge to the channel, and you're going to get rewards back. You're going to get t-shirts, you're going to get a bunch of other shit, you know, concerning out of nowhere. You're going to get fucking, just a bunch of shit, man. PS4, video gaming, a lot of shit going on. Visit the website, it's linked down below. I already have 5 patrons, and because of you guys, I want to shout them out today because it means a lot to me, man. And with everybody that pledges, I'm going to give you, I'm going to take this one from the Solid Monster, okay? Before some fucking goon in the comments section says I'm copying him, I am taking it from the Solid Monster because I enjoy his podcast each and every Sunday while drinking a cold beverage. Everybody that pledges is getting their own wrestling nickname, so I want to shout out nay, the immovable object, Iglesias, Lewis, I'm not changing your fucking nickname, bro, because it's so fucking beast, Lewis Starscream Duquesne. We got the Berlin Wall, Skylar Carter. We got Dr. PhD, Edward Quinn, and my buddy Johnny Razor's Edge Patterson, man. Those are the 5 fucking pledgers so far for the Patreon account. If you guys want your own wrestling nickname, courtesy of JD, you guys can go visit the site, read my opening statement, man, and find out the reason why I'm doing it, and you will understand. I love doing this for you guys. It fucking pains me that I can't do it on a daily basis like I want to, that I have to give my fucking 9, 10, 11 hours to my job when I can be doing this and creating more content, better content for you guys. So this is a way to get me to do this full time, and I can't do it without you guys, man. I honestly can't. This is what I want to do, and the Patreon account link down below. Go check it out. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's there for you if you definitely want to support Off The Script. ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript. Go get your t-shirts today, man. I am working on a new design. Hopefully, I will have that out right before the summer breaks. And we are headed into June, July, and the dog days of summer, man. You're going to have something that you're going to love. Trust me. But if you want to get the ones that I got on there right now, we got Goon City. We got version 1 and version 2 of Get Off My TV and the original Off The Script t-shirt. Go get it. ProWrestlingTees.com/offthescript. Follow me on Twitter at JD206 and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I don't know what the fuck you waiting for, bro. JD206. WrestleCrate.com as always. WrestleCrate.com and on Twitter at WrestleCrates. Use the coupon code JDSentMe for an instant 10% off your first purchase. Thank you guys so much. Now let's get into the news. Lot to go over. WWE, and this is not the top story, by the way, goons. WWE repackaging Darren Young with a new gimmick and Bob Backlund as his manager. Some new era we got going on here. Bob Backlund in the new era. Unfucking real. Every once in a while, WWE Creative does something completely out of left field that doesn't make a ton of sense on paper, which is seemingly every fucking week. But it's interesting enough that you need to see the angle in action before making a quick judgment call. I haven't seen one lick of this angle, and I'm already fucking tired of it. It is absolutely ridiculous that we have, just right there in the title of the headline, Bob Backlund in the new era. Are you fucking kidding me? The latest angle that is revolving around WWE, repackaging Darren Young with the new gimmick, that will also give him WWE Hall of Famer Bob Backlund as a manager. According to a report from DWN, DailyWrestlingNews.com, there will be a backstage segment, or there was a backstage segment, on SmackDown where Young asks Bob Backlund to be his life coach. Backlund agreed, and together they created the slogan, "Make Darren Great Again." When was he ever great? When was he ever great? Please. That is my question to each and every one of you. When the fuck was Darren Young great? I don't know. I can't figure it out. If you guys can, please enlighten me. WWE Hall of Fame was also informed that Young will be wrestling, or that the slogan "Wrestling is Life." The WWE Hall of Fame also informed Young that wrestling is life. According to Backlund, wrestling is life. Again, this is a concept that is completely out of left field, but WWE is making an obvious reference to Donald Trump's presidential campaign, and you never know the reaction something like this could get with a live crowd. It's good for WWE to try something with Darren Young, because he wasn't doing anything significant, and the idea of making wrestling great again could really get some steam with Bob Backlund behind the campaign. Listen, Listen to me. If you want to make wrestling great again, start with making my Monday Night Raw on Monday nights on the USA Network great again. Fuck a Darren Young. Nobody gives a shit about a Darren Young. Nobody. If he was on the chopping block for this Black Friday where WWE released 8 superstars, nobody would even fucking realize it. Make Darren great again. Fuck that. Make Raw great again. What's next, WWE? Please. Are you gonna get Hacksaw Jim Duggan to fucking school Jack Swagger in the art of making 2x4s? Huh? You're gonna get Sergeant Slaughter to fucking teach American Alpha how to do a push-up? Give me a break with this shit, bro. I'm already canning this gimmick as a failure. I don't give a shit who's with Darren Young. He's going nowhere. Bob Backlund, 70 years old, in the new era, on TV in 2016. Get that through your fucking heads. Failure. Immediately. Done. What a fucking terrible idea. This will be a complete flop. And I'm all for trying new things. But when you got Bob Backlund on TV in 2016, mimicking Donald Trump's campaign slogan, this is nothing more than a fucking farce and something to get into the eye of the public with taking something that's been talked about for months now with Mr. Trump running for president and him leading his party to the White House. That's all it is. That's all it has to do with. So WWE can't come up with their own ideas. They got to steal something from Donald Trump's presidential campaign. Yeah, okay. Please. Give me a fucking break with this bullshit, man. This will go absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And I know there'll be some fucking goon in the comments, oh, JD. Oh, JD, give it a chance, man. No, I don't want to give it a chance. I want WWE to give Raw a chance at being better. Fuck a Darren Young. Fuck a Bob Backlund. This is a complete fucking failure. Move on. Try it again. Original plans for Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillians at Payback revealed. Obviously, the finals of the number 1 contender tag team tournament didn't go as planned at Payback. Enzo suffered a concussion that stopped the match only after 4 minutes. Now, Enzo will be out of action for the foreseeable future. Big Cass is on his own. And the Vaudevillians have become the number 1 contenders for the New Day's WWE Tag Team titles. According to a report from DailyWrestlingNews.com, the original plan for the match at Payback always had the Vaudevillains winning to become the new number 1 contenders and feud with the New Day going into Extreme Rules. The rumors seemed like we'd be seeing the Dudleys interfering to cost Enzo and Cass the match, but the former's injury cost the pay-per-view that angle and that feud altogether. Now there is a lot up in the air in the tag team division because Enzo and Cass were thriving on the main roster. It's true that they'll be back and better than ever because Enzo's injury will obviously cause sympathy for the team. But now WWE has to figure out what's next for the tag team division. With Enzo and Cass out short term, the Dudleys are without a feud, and the WWE doesn't know what they will do next, and that will depend on how long Enzo is off TV and out of the ring. So, obviously, from this report, Vaudevillains versus the New Day was what they were going with short term, going into Extreme Rules. Enzo and Cass were probably going to be fucked over by the Dudleys. That feud now has been put on hold. So the plans and pretty much everybody's predictions that they predicted before Payback were pretty much going to come true. The Dudleys were going to interfere in this tag team match and cost Enzo and Cass the title tournament, and the Vaudevillains were going to go on to always be the number 1 contenders. So there you got it. The original plans before Enzo got hurt in the ring, which was a freak accident, by the way. We discussed it on part 2 of Off the Script. Vaudevillains were always meant to win that match. Enzo and Cass were always meant to go onto a short-term feud with the Dudleys, Vaudevillains with the New Day, and then the New Day, Enzo and Cass would meet going into SummerSlam, which I hope is still the plans for both teams. So there you got it. Payback plans revealed for the Vaudevillains and Enzo and Cass. What are the plans for Baron Corbin on the main roster? Baron Corbin made his WWE main roster debut at WrestleMania 32 in front of the largest crowd in sports entertainment history. His impact on the show was felt immediately when he became the third superstar ever to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. His impact was felt immediately. I don't know if you guys felt it. I didn't feel it. If you felt it, it was more like a fucking mosquito bite. Nothing happened. But I tell you what I felt. I felt my fucking nachos and cheese fucking upchucking through my body, through my mouth, wanting myself to vomit all over my living room rug with the sight of Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family buried at WrestleMania due to The Rock and John Cena. That's what I felt. I didn't feel anything about Baron Corbin winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, or what I like to call the Get Off My TV Battle Royal. A complete fucking waste. What sense does it make for Baron Corbin to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and then put him in the U.S. title Battle Royal and have him lose and be eliminated in 3 minutes? That's WWE creative for you. Get that through your fucking skulls. Go back and watch the fucking Battle Royal. He wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but he can't duplicate that success on Monday Night Raw. What sense does that make? I don't get it. I don't get it. WWE Creative is on some good shit. And if they are, please, let me know what you're smoking, bro. I could certainly use something after a fucking 13-hour shift. Unreal. Some looked at his first night in WWE as a success. Yeah, it was. Because if there was one guy in that ring that you wanted to win at WrestleMania, it would have been Baron Corbin. Not Shaquille O'Neal, goons. Winning any match, I'm on a fucking roll today, man. I'm fucking heated. For whatever reason, man, I'm fucking heated. It might have been the 3 beers I had before recording this, but I'm good to go. Winning any match on a WrestleMania card is a feather in one's cap. Others perceive the Battle Royal as nothing more than a bathroom break. Oh, you're reading my mind, bro. Others perceive the Battle Royal as nothing more than a bathroom break designed to get low-level superstars on a spot at WrestleMania. Any way you look at it, it was clear Baron Corbin was here to stay, and his victory added a little extra punch to the match in dire need of it. WWE even gave him the opportunity with the microphone the next night on Raw, where Corbin claimed, "For those of you who don't know who I am, I don't care." He proclaimed that his arrival signaled the end of days for anyone who stood in his way. Really now? So WWE, right? This is a creative writer in WWE. Oh my God. Oh my God. Steve, what should we do with Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler? I love that idea. I love that idea. Baron Corbin loses on Monday Night Raw. Oh, not on Monday Night Raw, at Payback. At Payback, he loses on the fucking pre-show of all fucking things. Yes, some way to build momentum for someone who just won a meaningless battle royal, right? You want to proclaim, oh, he's the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner, but he goes out on a fucking pre-show, proclaims that anyone that steps in his way is going to receive an end of days. What happened at Payback, WWE? Huh? I don't see no end of days. I maybe see an end of his fucking career. I might not go that far, but the way things are going with these new talents on WWE main roster, they're not going to be built up as anything significant. Not at least for 2 or 3 years. They're just there as a fucking Band-Aid for when John Cena and Cesaro's back and Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. That's all they're there. They're there as a Band-Aid. Yeah, let's bring up NXT guys. You won't know that everybody else is injured. And then when these guys come back from injury, they're going to fucking go right down to the bottom of the barrel saying hello to Tyler Breeze. That's all that is. Give me a fucking break, man. His arrival signaled the end of days for anyone who stood in his way. Obviously, that wasn't true. That was a month ago, and the lone star, and the lone superstar, to legitimately stand in the way of the lone wolf has been Dolph Ziggler. Corbin and Ziggler squared off immediately following that initial promo, which became the catalyst for their current feud. The two were booked in a singles match for Payback, which ended up being relegated to the kickoff show, like I just mentioned, with the fucking goon in WWE Creative. And this is what he does. He writes fucking absolute chicken scratch, nothing. Guarantee you that's what's written on a script for WWE Raw, because they're all fucking idiots. And the two were booked in a singles match for Payback. They were on the kickoff show. And in what might have been the biggest surprise of the pay-per-view, Ziggler was victorious. Yeah, that's great, man. Like, Ziggler needed a fucking win, right? Yeah, the guy who just made his debut, who's there less than a month, doesn't need a win. But Dolph Ziggler, who's doing absolutely nothing for the last 4 years, needs a win. Where's he going after this? Is he going out to the bar with Summer Rae? Is he going to get a blowjob in the back by fucking Rosa Mendez? What is he doing? What is Dolph Ziggler doing after this victory with Baron Corbin? Is he fighting for a title? Is he jerking Triple H off in hopes he gets a title shot? What is he doing? Nothing. He'd be lucky if he's on fucking TV the next week. Fucking ridiculous. WWE booked Baron Corbin, the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, to lose his first pay-per-view singles match. That's really going to get someone over. And they did so against someone, while popular, has become accustomed to losing. Now it appears that they put Ziggler over because WWE has absolutely zero definitive plans for Baron Corbin. That's great. So if you're a Baron Corbin fan, this is what WWE's doing to you. This is what WWE's doing to you right there. That's according to Cage Side Seats. This would go along with the recent report that Vince McMahon has yet to warm up to any of the NXT stars who recently arrived on the main roster. The chairman hasn't come around on Apollo Crews, the Vaudevillians, or even Enzo and Cass to some degree. So everybody's got to be a John Cena coming out of NXT. Yeah, great job, Vince. Now we might have to add Baron Corbin to that list. We may be able to assume that the Corbin-Ziggler rivalry will continue through at least May due to the Extreme Rules stipulations. Both Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler participated in Monday's Battle Royal to determine a new number one contender for Kalisto's United States Championship, which I went over already, goons. Rusev should not have won. Zack Ryder should have been the one chosen to win that match. Ziggler ended up eliminating Corbin before the Lone Wolf attacked the show-off, which enabled Rusev to toss him out. Some questioned even placing both superstars in the match in the first place, especially if they were not going to win. The man who just won a similar match on a bigger stage a month earlier, which I just said, and he couldn't repeat it for the U.S. title opportunity against Kalisto. So, I don't understand that logic. I don't understand that booking. However, according to Wrestling Inc., WWE did some pre-show Raw shuffling when it came to Monday's Battle Royal. Ryback, Heath Slater, and Jack Swagger were all scheduled to compete in the match, but obviously did not. Ryback was sent home. Feed me less. Get off my TV. But it's not known at this point why the other two did not appear. It would be easy to assume Ziggler and Corbin simply replaced Swagger and Slater to add some more star power to the match, but that would have purely been speculation. For the time being, Baron Corbin has a program with Dolph Ziggler that should at least last through Extreme Rules. That remains up in the air, and the company may not be completely sold on what the Lone Wolf brings to the table besides his attitude, his look, and his original entrance. So WWE, again, brings up guys with no long-term booking. Great job, man. Great job. If you don't have a fucking plan for them, keep them where they are. No reason to bring them up and have decent fucking guys and decent talent who are just starting to get their fucking momentum going down at NXT to bring them up to the main roster and completely kill all motivation that they have for the fucking sport that they perform in. Stupid. No long-term plans for Baron Corbin. Hopefully, this really changes through the summer months, because I do enjoy Baron Corbin. I do see a massive upside to Baron Corbin, and I just don't know why he did not beat Dolph Ziggler at Payback on the pre-show. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Eric Young has yet to sign a WWE contract with NXT WWE. This week on NXT, which I did watch, still waiting to record the iTunes podcast, but you can thank my fucking job for me not even getting a fucking opportunity to sit down and sit in front of this microphone. I gotta get this up for you guys, and amongst other things I gotta do. Samoa Joe made his return to Full Sail University in his first appearance since defeating Finn Balor for the NXT Championship just 2 weeks ago, which I'm glad they're back at Full Sail, because those fucking tapings at WWE Access were fucking absolutely awful. The crowd, I swear to God, I don't know if they were fucking at a funeral or at a wrestling show, man. I don't know what the fuck they were on. Completely dead to the world. Every single fucking one of those people. So I'm glad that they're back at Full Sail, because Full Sail appreciates what goes on in the ring. Now, Joe came to assert his dominance, obviously as being the new WWE NXT champion, but he was interrupted by Eric Young, who received massive EY chants, and he's been rumored to be talking and negotiating a deal with WWE. Unfortunately, EY went on to face Samoa Joe in the main event, which was a great match, in a losing effort. Joe also made his point by choking Young out to end the show. There is a lot of speculation about Eric Young's status with the company after appearing out of the blue to face Samoa Joe and lose to him on his first night. According to information from WrestlingInc.com, Eric Young has not officially signed a deal with WWE to appear on NXT as a regular, and that creates a lot of questions about his future for the brand after last night's events. Young doesn't necessarily need a contract to continue making appearances on NXT, but it's possible that his appearance this week was a one-off type of deal or a test run to see how the NXT universe would respond to him. Now we just need to wait and see if Eric Young will continue to be in NXT or if this was just a rare treat. My opinion on this, and I believe firmly, Eric Young will be with NXT. He received a great reaction when he came out to interrupt Samoa Joe's promo. He received a great reaction in the ring. He performed fantastic in the ring. Eric Young will be with NXT. There's no reason to believe that he's going anywhere else. There is nowhere else to go, man. TNA is dead. You're not going to go to New Japan. You're going to stay in the States. You're going to stay in the same state, the same city in which you were working out of. You got the Performance Center. You got the WWE as a brand backing you. Why would you go anywhere else? This is where everyone wants to be. NXT. Eric Young will be with NXT before all is said and done. He may have already signed the contract. Who the fuck knows? Eric Young will be with NXT. So will Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode, according to rumors, has officially signed with NXT. This week has been such a sad week with a lot of unfortunate news to report that it's nice to actually report some good news about WWE finally signing someone after so many performers were let go this week. It's no secret that Bobby Roode has been circling a deal with WWE. Not only have there been rumors about him signing already, but Eric Young's appearance earlier this week pretty much confirms his status as well. According to a report from PW Insider and Mike Johnson, who was on the Ross Report this week. Great listen. Go and check it out on Podcast 1. The latest news on Bobby Roode and Eric Young signing with WWE has been revealed. For Young, it was reported that I just mentioned that he has not signed the deal with NXT, but he revealed later on during an interview that he was working on contract stuff at the moment, but there isn't a final pen to paper just yet. For Roode, it was briefly announced that he was working with NXT United Kingdom tour dates, but that was very quickly retracted. The latest from PW Insider's report claims that Roode has signed the deal with NXT. What's fantastic about Bobby Roode is that he could fit into NXT very well and become the NXT champion eventually, or he even could go to the main roster and make a huge impact there as well. He's got some options in the WWE. Roode was one of the few guys I wanted WWE to pick up. It looks like he will definitely be with NXT. He might even show up at their next set of tapings coming up very, very soon, man. Just when you think NXT is going to be a little bit weaker from the main roster debuts of Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, Enzo and Cass, Vaudevillians, Tyler Breeze, all these guys being pulled, and then Finn Balor's imminent debut on the main roster. WWE is bringing in the top-tier talent that are free agents in the independent scene, man. You got Eric Young, you got Bobby Roode, and I am sure more is to come once those contracts are set to expire, man. You got Hideo Itami coming back, you got Nakamura. NXT will be just fine with Bobby Roode and Eric Young in NXT, man. Going to be fucking exciting, and I can't wait to see what happens, man. NXT is going to thrive yet again in 2016. And finally, guys, the main story of Off the Script. The Shield could reunite at Extreme Rules to battle the Bullet Club. One of the biggest stories happening in WWE right now is that AJ Styles is taking on Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. At Payback, Reigns had a clean win over Styles, and now they'll have another match at Extreme Rules, which will be under the Extreme Rules stipulations. Rumors are starting to swirl, though, that something bigger is about to happen. But WWE, will they really pull the trigger on a reunion of the Shield and feud them with the Bullet Club? AJ Styles has some backup in former Bullet Club members Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. WWE's playing things up like he doesn't necessarily want their help, but as each week passes, Styles sides with them more and more. Reigns is on top of the WWE world right now as he has the belt in his possession. He doesn't necessarily want his help, or he doesn't necessarily want their help, Styles. But I can't help but feel that AJ is looking somewhat weak, that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are being booked somewhat weak. And we'll talk about that on part 4, because there's a major story going around that there are several people backstage that are heated over the way Gallows, Anderson, and Styles are being booked. So we'll talk about that on Monday. I'm sure I'll have a lot to say about that. Dean Ambrose has been in the mid-card for months. He's been in limbo for months and can go on anything at any given point. The only person missing here is Seth Rollins. He could be back in the ring before anybody even realizes it. Rollins was rumored to be at Payback this past weekend and discuss his return to WWE at Triple H and with Triple H. He may have been there, which it was reported he was not. Mike Johnson said on Jim Ross's Ross Report this week that he was not. And it's coming up on 6 months since he's been out with a knee injury, which he suffered in a match against Kane in early November. As Sports World News reports, Roman Reigns currently has some backup from the Usos, but there is a feud with much bigger potential here. The mere idea of having WWE's version of the Bullet Club facing off against the Shield would blow the minds of every wrestling fan that there is. The main thing is having all the pieces come together, and honestly, that's already starting to happen. This is my idea dating back to January. I've stated this. I wouldn't have booked it the way WWE's doing it, but it looks like we could potentially have it. For the Shield reunion, Roman Reigns is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion and can do whatever the fuck he wants. Dean Ambrose and his feud looks to be coming to an end with Chris Jericho at Extreme Rules. Seth Rollins has been walking around and training hard. He's even filming a fucking movie. Unless he's going to be hobbling around on a crutch in the movie, he's good to go. He could return at any time. The formation of the Bullet Club, AJ Styles is in the main event and has become a top face in WWE. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have established themselves as big players, even amongst shitty fucking booking. Many believe that the inclusion of Finn Balor into the Styles, Gallows, Anderson storyline is coming very soon. While it is very possible WWE still also has Balor taking on Joe at NXT TakeOver Revenge, I'm hearing it's called. One of you guys notified me yesterday. NXT TakeOver Revenge, which will take place on June 8th at Full Sail University. Due to the internet rumors and all this speculation, WWE may have pushed back Balor's planned debut on the main roster to make it more of a surprise. This could leave the door open for Styles to form his stable with Anderson and Gallows and feud with the Shield for the summer. Maybe a feud between the Shield and the Bullet Club is the reason why all the rumors are floating around about a War Games type match returning to WWE. with the Battleground pay-per-view happening in late July, this could be a way to set up a future storyline involving Finn Balor and also bring back a long-missed match. WWE has mentioned the Shield quite a bit in the last month, and they even put a video on their main page regarding the Hounds of Justice. That's not saying that they will indeed reunite, but there is so much to be said for them coming back together and facing off with a brand new stable that is sitting there waiting for WWE to put together. It's a feud that so many would love to see, and Camel Clutch Blog even said it would be one of the best ways to book the Bullet Club and the debut of Balor as well. Of course, all of this hinges on one big thing: Seth Rollins and his knee. If it isn't fully healed, WWE is not going to let him back in the ring. They're going to make sure he is cleared and ready to go, so as not to risk further injury to the former world champion and have him out even longer. Extreme Rules is a really fun and exciting pay-per-view due to the gimmick matches and stipulations added to the matches. AJ Styles and Roman Reigns will battle it out over the WWE World Heavyweight title, but there is much more that could come of all this, and if the Shield reunites and WWE unleashes their version of the Bullet Club, then it could lead to one of the greatest feuds that WWE has seen in recent memory. I booked this back fucking 5 months ago, man. And I wouldn't have went about it the way WWE is going about it, but the rumors of War Games, and you got the idea of the Bullet Club, and it looks like AJ Styles is going to remain with Anderson and Gallows. That's the way it seems on WWE television. At first, it looked like Gallows and Anderson were going to turn at Payback. That did not happen. And now it looks like AJ is kind of embracing their help a little bit. Yes, he's a little standoffish about wanting their help, but he's embracing a little bit more. You know? The Usos are nothing but pawns in this feud. They're nothing. They're meaningless. Roman Reigns knows he's not going to beat these guys with the Usos. He might have to get the gang back together. He might have to get the band back together. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose versus Anderson, Gallows, and AJ Styles. You want to add another guy to each team? War Games. There's no better way for WWE to introduce War Games than to start it off with that, man. It is absolutely imperative WWE gives us a big storyline going into the summer. I don't think Shane McMahon and Triple H is going to carry the entire company leading to the summer. You need something else. That something else is the Shield versus the Bullet Club. War Games. Make it happen. You got the resources. Do it. It would be unbelievable. And if booked properly, it could be one of the best things we've seen in recent memory in WWE. But that is Off the Script, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is part 3 of episode 116 for Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to each and everyone out there. And I will be back for certain with part 4 of Off the Script. John Cena versus The Undertaker may co-main event WrestleMania 33. Reigns versus Styles will last up until Money in the Bank. We have Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and AJ Styles now being referred to simply as the Club, and backstage criticism about the booking of Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows, and AJ Styles. So I got all that plus so much more on Off the Script. Make sure you guys tune in to Monday morning, part 4 of this very podcast. Until then, thank you guys so much. Check out the description, Patreon, Pro Wrestling Tees, WrestleCrate, Twitter. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with part 4 on Monday morning, guys. Until then, I'm JD, and I'll see you then for Off the Script part 4. Talk to you later.